Hey, welcome. This is Sig Taylor with Fish Out Loud. Get ready for some fish catching action. But in a moment, I'm going to set up the scenario, what we're looking at. We've got a major hurricane that has come through Florida, the main part of Florida. Tampa's kind of south from us, where we're at here on the Panhandle. And what that's created is no rain for a while. And these rivers are really, really low. So low that I ripped off my transducer running up the Choctawhatchee River here, trying to get some fish catching action, which I did find eventually as I went up. But you had to be really, really careful. Lot of logs sitting everywhere and trying to navigate around. But we did manage to. And I wanted to share with you here at the end, stay till the end, I'm going to share with you how I caught these fish and how you can go out on these rivers here on the Gulf of Mexico, being careful and catching some fish. So get ready, here we go. All right, nice fish, nice fish. Woo! Berkeley, oh heck, Senko, black and blue, very lightweight. Interesting looking fish, definitely matches the color of the water, which is kind of a copper, dark color, copper. All right. Woo, I love throwing those into dark places, and that's where he was. All right, guys, remember you're just one cast away. Oh, I finally caught one of these ugly suckers. Dang, finally caught one of these ugly guys. Oh, brother. I didn't think it was possible. Oh, jeez. This thing is ugly. Oh, brother. All right, pliers. Dang it. These things are ugly. It sure looked nice from like a bass at first. God, these things are ugly. I'll lift him up here for the camera. There he is. My first mudfish ever. Let's hope that's not something that's going to get started here. Kind of looked like a bass at first, man. It looked good. Anyway, all right, man, guys. Just one cast away. Come on. Ah, get out of my boat. All right, here we go. Got another one here, baby. Ooh, this one's clean. Oh my Lord. This one's real clean. One thing I find about these river bass here is they really hold on to it for a long time, assuming that the temperature is good. They're not just gonna bite it and spit it out right away. I figure that when they see something, they better get it and they better swallow it and eat it, because they don't probably know when the next meal's coming. But nice little bass, real clean compared to the other one I caught just around the corner. So I felt him down there, tick, 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 tick. I waited an extra second or two just to make sure he had it in his mouth before I set the hook on him. All right, guys, remember, you're just one cast away. Gotcha. Haha. Got him. Woo. Black and blue, baby. Black and blue. What can I say? He wanted it. All right, remember, you're just one cast away. All right, Black Creek here, right off the Choctawhatchee. Had a great time over here in the Freeport area. Get a chance, come out here. Black Creek is really accessible. And then you jump over to the Choctawhatchee for some fish catching action. Okay, guys, remember, you're just one cast away. All right, wasn't that great? Now, always use caution. I'm always wearing a life jacket. I've been doing this for too many years. It's very, very important that you have that life jacket. How important? Well, your life depends on it. Okay, now, some of the baits I like throwing, and you'll hear me say this over and over again if you're watching some of the videos, is I like black, black and blue, black and purple, black, just you name it, it's black, okay? These fish really love it. The river was very, very low, and so what I'm looking for is holes in the river, and I'm marking these holes with my graph as I'm going into it. So I may go a long stretch, especially the straightaways, where it's pushing 1.5 feet deep, and I'm just barely trying to get through that. But when I get to a bend, okay, where that river comes into that bend and starts digging away over time, I can get as deep as 12, 14 foot. Most of the time, though, it was between 6 and 9 foot deep, okay? So I'm marking that, knowing that something lies there, okay? And there being all kinds of fish. It was ugly fishing. It definitely was ugly fishing. So some of the baits I like throwing is the stick baits. You can call them Cincos, whatever you want to call them. I like Berkeley, I like Strike King, I like Cincos. I just find that Strike King is the most cost effective. I'm getting them for $2 a bag at Tackle Warehouse, or you can go down to your local Walmart and get them for $3 a bag, okay? But I like throwing that. I will put an 1/8-ounce bullet head on it or lighter. And all I'm doing is just pitching into dark places. If there's current, I'm looking for current, and that current swings up underneath there. Those bass are in feeding positions during certain times, okay? So you just, that's the reason I say you're just one cast away, okay? I also like throwing a 5-inch zipper worm, which originally came from the West Coast, okay? And it's the first ribbed worm that I ever had, and I love throwing that midnight color. Again, you can only get those for a few certain spots, but Tackle Warehouse has them for $3.88 a bag. Very cost effective. I love that, okay? Also like throwing a black and blue worm, curly tail, 7-inch. I use something that you don't probably use as a hook, and it's a Gamakatsu skip gap hook. Okay, and I'll use a 3/0, 4/0, and a 5/0, just depending what I'm using. Stick baits, I like using a 3 or 4/0. When I go to a 5/0, it's usually a bigger worm on there. Okay, so want to also add that I use something. If you notice, watch some of my videos. I use something called a Sure Thing, guys. Fishing it can be costly, okay? I want you to save as much money as you can. I use a teardrop sinker. It's 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce. They're very cost effective at Academy Sports. And then I took a snap, okay? It's a size 3 is what I like using. And I run it down that line. If I'm hung up on that wood down there and the root balls, that thing runs down. And because of the weight, it just goes right down and knocks it off, okay? Let me tell you, I have literally saved thousands of dollars doing that, okay? Guys, if you like what you saw, click like, okay, so I can get this populated out there so we can help people like yourself catch more and bigger fish, all right? And if you like some of the shirts, check out my merch. Just go down here. There's a link to my Etsy store, and I've got over 50 fun t-shirts that are made for you, your friends, and your family, okay? Guys, remember, you're always just one cast away.